Hello there, and we are live. See ya, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to another episode of one of our favorite shows. See ya, guys, yeah, because this one is going to be, it's going to be those ones we call a sharp shooting one because lots of stuff happened this weekend. Lots of things to unpack. Even in Europe, far in Doha, many things happen in football this weekend. And me and my guest, not really a guest because me and him co-own the show together, we're going to delve in deep into some of these conversations. But see, yeah, guys, welcome to the stage. My guy, my bro, not a person, Steve Keats Mahala. Steve Mahala, talk to these people, man.
Yo, what's going on, bro? How you doing? Yeah, man,
Yeah,
just
man.
chilling.
Yeah, man. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's only
I'm
good that I
happy with
could see
my
your face
team.
at this time because, see, Steve Mahala, we have to have conversations. Just last week, I was talking to you and our guy Latimus Prime, and I was telling you guys, Liverpool are going to drop points. But I mean, when I talk, people laugh. Like, who's laughing now? I told you they're going to drop points. See, I don't look at Liverpool as this invincible team. Clearly, we saw them yesterday. They have defensive lapses in that team. You can't tell me that was Van Dijk's amazing performance. You can't tell me Arnold had an amazing
Trent
performance.
was bad.
Liverpool could be get at. See, I just want you to talk
Yeah.
about this uninterrupted. What did you think about that game against Manchester United yesterday? Just give me a long overview of what you
Mm,
thought about that
mm.
match. It's a very big one. I must talk about it.
Yeah. First of all, just from a neutral perspective, it was a good game of football.
Yeah,
Both teams played pretty well. Some players stood out compared to others, but I thought it was actually a really good game to watch. Both teams looked like they could score. Both teams did show some lapses in concentration, but the goals that were scored in the game were really good. Gakpo's finish was a brilliant finish. Lisandro Martinez had a very good goal as well. The penalty was silly to give away from Delict, but Salah slotted it away. And Garnacho to what was it, Diallo? It was a nice finish there. So it was a good game. It was a good game, and I think I was shocked that Man United turned up like that from a goal scoring perspective. But yeah, you're right. Liverpool did have some defensive lapses. They did have some and they didn't even play that. They didn't play, super well defensively. But I guess they can they can afford to drop points though, Tony. When the day before you're dropping points to Brighton, this is the issue. I don't think
no, see,
anybody.
I
I don't
understand,
think
but again,
Tony.
you have to extricate the fact that Arsenal dropped points. We're talking about Liverpool as a team. We will talk about Arsenal when we get to
Yeah.
Arsenal. But because we're facing this Liverpool team, because the way this podcaster has handed this title over to Liverpool, that's where I have my problem. And it's not fettered with the fact that Arsenal will drop points. No, it's fettered to the fact that they feel that Liverpool is invincible. And I have a problem with that. I don't think they're an invincible team. With the way Manchester United played yesterday, you could see that Liverpool could clearly be got at. Defensively, they're not as sound as people think they are. Yeah, Van Dijk is one of the most enterprising defenders in the league. But how about Konate? I mean, Konate just came back from injury. Doesn't look his best since he came back from injury. There are clear defensive lapses. Arnold, yeah, going forward, he gives so much. But defensively, look at how he was turned over. I mean, my brother, man. I mean, yesterday, time after time after time, there are defensive lapses with this Liverpool team. And that's what people aren't seeing. And you know what, Steve, yeah, because I know you know these things. I know you know football. I know you breathe these things. I mean, when you look at that Liverpool team, bro, if they play again against Fulham team, they will have problems. When they play against teams that are set up to actually stifle attacks and actually defend properly, they will have problems. They will have defensive issues. Do you concur with this stuff?
No, they over the past few games, like the Newcastle 3-3, Fulham 2-2, this 2-2 draw with
Shout out to Oregon Gooner. That's our brother. Big up to him.
big up
Oregon Gooner.
Oregon
Big
all
ups,
day.
man. That's my brother. Big
Yeah.
ups. Po, po, po. Yeah, man.
For sure. No, you're
Big
right.
up the assemble. Yeah.
Defensively, yeah, big up the assemble. Defensively, Tony, you're right. Like lately, like I said, the Newcastle 3-3, the Fulham 2-2, the Man United 2-2. When they played Leicester, Leicester could have scored more than just one goal, possibly.
Yeah.
But teams just aren't taking their chances against Liverpool. This is the biggest problem. I mean, that chance at the end for Maguire. I know he's a center back, but my God, you couldn't.
Oh my God.
You can't,
bro. That's a tap in. It's a tap in. It's a tap in.
It's a tap in. Yeah, it's just unfortunate it fell to a center back and not like a striker or something like that. But you're right. Look, they have given away some chances, but at the same time, Tony, Liverpool could have scored more goals in that game. I mean, Onana had some very good saves.
Yeah, Onana had at least three to four saves. Yeah, exactly. I do concur with you.
So it's a given. It's a give and take with Liverpool. It seems like with Liverpool, they either shut out the opposition and don't offer them much, but then they don't look as exciting or as deadly going forward, or
they
get involved in games where they look like they can score 3, but they also look like they can concede 3. Now, what's going to happen is which of that shows more? Which side of Liverpool shows more? Are they going to, throughout the rest of the season and the rest of their games, regardless of whatever tournament they're in, are they going to be more defensively resolute, but maybe give up? Maybe not score as many, or are they going to
score as many? Yeah.
Or are they going to be a bit more open, knowing that they'll score more, but they'll concede more chances? So I think but it just seems like with Liverpool, they can kind of turn it on and off. I mean, against West Ham did not look like they were never gonna score in that game, outside of the Kudus hitting the post when they smashed them up 5-0. Like, that was a game where Liverpool defensively were outstanding, and then going forward, they were just scoring every single time against West Ham. So, fuck, I timed out. The internet sucks. Or maybe that's Tony getting timed out. Wait, is he back?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry. There's a big blizzard down here in Finland. I mean, the snow is heavily falling, so I mean the connection is quite bad down here for now. But yeah, I'm listening to you, man. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, like, I think, but the problem is, Tony, Liverpool will have days like they had against West Ham, where their opposition is so poor that they'll score 3, 4, 5 goals past them and then not concede anything defensively. People thought that was going to be the thing yesterday, but I actually thought it was going to be a draw, because this is exactly what happened last year.
It's exactly what happened last year. Steve Mahala, see, Manchester United going down to Liverpool.
Oh, he froze again. Damn. He froze again. Yo, big up everybody in the chat. Yeah, BX Gunner. Bro, I agree with you. Arsenal can't capitalize, man.
Yeah, Steve. Yeah, Steve, I'm back. Yeah, Steve. Yeah, see, this is the worst Manchester United team in 63 years. Yeah.
Oh, his Wi-Fi is having a mare.
Oh my days. See, Steve Mahala, this is the worst Manchester United team in 63 years. They turn up to Anfield, yeah, on a given day where Liverpool.
Yeah, Heden Gooner. The blizzard is definitely affecting Tony's Wi-Fi. Snow Yetis are chewing his cables. Yeah, for real. No, big up everybody inside. Yeah. We might have lost Tony, man. We might have lost Tony. Fucking hell, man. These blizzards in Finland must be crazy, yo. Anyways, people. Yeah. What did y'all think about the Liverpool Man United game? Let me know. I missed probably like 10 or 20 minutes of the game, but overall, I just thought, yeah, Man United did a really good. They had a really good performance. Like, kept the ball well. Managed to neutralize Liverpool really well. I felt like they put in a lot more effort than they did in some other previous games, maybe. But yeah, they surprised me for sure. Maybe Tony's back now.
Steve, I'm so sorry, man. The wind and it's just too much. Steve, yeah. I mean, the worst Manchester United team in 63 years goes and turns up to Anfield and goes and gives them. The ball possession in that matchup was 48-52 the whole of the match. Chances created by Manchester United, goal attempts 13 to Liverpool 19. Bro, maybe this Manchester United team just need a little bit of a spark in it. Don't you think so?
They have a very good manager. Let's get that right. Like, they performed very well with inferior players, right? There's not many Man United players that get into Liverpool's team. There's maybe one, maybe. That's being generous. But yeah, so I think maybe a Ugarte could play for Liverpool. Someone like that, maybe. But other than that, it's like who, Mainu, Euro, possibly, but you're not picking Euro over Van Dijk or Konate. Those are more established top-level guys. Euro's a really good young center back. And by the way, one of the challenge that Euro made on Nunez from behind later in that second half, top quality challenge.
Yeah.
It was a goal-saving challenge.
That's a goal-saving challenge.
It was that.
He's a quality player. I mean, that injury just happened to him at a very bad time, innit?
Preseason, yeah.
He's a top-class player. I like that guy. I mean, the sheer confidence, the way he made that tackle, he just made it so easy, so simple. It was just so easy. Even the referee didn't even have to think so much about that tackle over Nunez to just stifle that goal out. But Steve Mahala, going forward, do you think this Liverpool team will be exposed? Do you have that feeling that this Liverpool team, bro, with that performance yesterday, man, as in other teams would now say, you know what, this Liverpool team ain't so invincible, all that anyway. Why can't we just have a go? Don't you think teams would genuinely think like this?
No, I do think, Tony, if you're asking me, do I think they go invincible? Well, first off, they can't because Forest beat them. And number two, yeah, I do see Liverpool dropping points maybe in some unexpected games. Maybe yesterday being a good example. But the problem is the other teams that are contending for the league, they're also going to drop points too. Tony, is what? Is this the fourth time this year that on the same weekend Liverpool drop points, you do as well?
Yeah, man.
And it could be.
That's true.
It could have been so different if you had the Fulham win, Everton, Brighton on Saturday, which we'll talk about. Like but Tony, this is the problem. They have a 6-point gap on you with a game in hand. Even if they lose that game in hand, it's still 6 points. And when you draw, they can afford to draw, and vice versa. So it's like, yeah, I do think Liverpool will drop some points here and there, but like overall, do I see them? Do I see Arsenal taking advantage of that? No. Ultimately, no, I don't see you guys taking advantage of Liverpool. I mean, the next game is Nottingham Forest away. I could totally see Forest winning that game 1-0. Nottingham Forest have been great this year, but let's see who you guys.
Yeah, they have.
But let's see who you got. You guys host Spurs. I think Spurs are.
We host Spurs in the next Premier League game.
I think Spurs are awful. Their manager's terrible. They have like 5 good players, and then the rest are mediocre. But it's still a North London derby, and you never know. Some weird thing could happen.
Form goes away. Form goes out the window. And again, Arsenal have been struggling to garner any kind of momentum with the absence of Bukayo Saka. I mean, we'll be talking all about that later on. In the next installment. Steve Mahala. I mean, Newcastle. Oh my days. Let's go down to Newcastle. Come on, man. Newcastle. I mean, fifth in the league.
Hey, Tony,
fifth in the league.
We're the informed team in the league right now. Us and Forest.
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly, man. Exactly. I mean, you guys have, 5 straight wins in the Premiership, innit?
Yeah, that's correct.
Am I correct, Steve? Is that 5 straight wins? Premiership. Yeah. I mean, the Tottenham game made it the 5th straight game. You guys have turned it up a notch. I mean, Steve Mahala, take us through that game. Newcastle versus Tottenham Hotspurs. Drabby game. Tottenham Hotspurs going forward with the first goal, thinking, they've won. I saw their fans, they were just turning up, dancing, drinking, having a feast, having a fiesta. But then Newcastle struck twice to deny them a win at home to Newcastle. Man, take it away, bro. Isaac continues his streak of scoring goals, man. That guy doesn't seem to stop, innit?
A lot of good streaks for Newcastle lately, Tony. Isak, 7 straight Premier League games with a goal. Newcastle, 5 wins in a row, 6 in all comps.
7 straight. Isn't it the record already?
No,
isn't it the record?
Vardy has it. 11.
No. In Newcastle's history.
Oh yeah.
Is that a record for Newcastle?
Probably Shearer was the other one, but he probably is. He's probably.
I don't think Shearer ever scored 7 goals at a trot in the whole of the straight games for Newcastle. I don't think so. But anyway,
either way,
guys, fact check me if I'm correct.
Yeah, either way, though, I mean, Isak doesn't look like he's going to stop scoring, so that's a good thing.
He does it, man.
And this is what, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th straight game that we've scored at least 2 goals. Now, that might not sound super impressive, but it's a struggle sometimes in football to score 2 goals consistently, because sometimes you just have a bad day at the office with finishing. But we're getting goals from Gordon. Really nice finish on the first goal. And then Isak, the smart little redirect from the Murphy cross, those off Dragusin. So, yeah, I thought we started the game, that initial 4 minutes, pretty poorly, but we responded exactly how a proper team responds. Right away, we take advantage of Bergvall playing the full pass. It was the ball went off Joe Ellington. And then Bruno slotted it right to Gordon. Bang. That's exactly how I want to see the team respond. Because going down 1-0 in 4 minutes could really mess with the team's confidence. But I loved our approach that we didn't. It's like it didn't bother us. It's like it almost like kicked us into gear. So and then that whole first half, we had a few really good chances to score. Eventually, Isak does it in the 38th minute. We withheld Tottenham pressure without, and they didn't create too much in that second half. We just done the business, man. We done the business. I thought we could have scored a few more, made it more comfortable, but in the end, a win's a win.
A win is a win.
We got you guys tomorrow.
There will be games where, the They're highly competitive games, yeah, that, you won't play so well, you won't pass the ball more freely, the free flow football won't be there. And again, I think the atmospheric concerns throughout England this past weekend also contributed to the drab play. Maybe it even affected Liverpool. Maybe it also even affected Newcastle in the grand scheme of things. But I mean, Newcastle, the way they're grinding out points, man, bro, they're churning it out. The midfield is playing quite well. No one is saying that going down to the lane would be a simple task, actually. I mean, you have 70,000 screaming fans down there just screaming at you. And again, you go down there and pull off that kind of performance. Expected XG yesterday, I think, yesterday, day before yesterday for Newcastle was about 1, yeah, to Tottenham's 0.85. That's the total XG of that matchup when they played together. So Newcastle, in the grand scheme of things, still came up with the goods. They had, for me, in my own thinking, they had the best chances. Tottenham Hotspurs will always have chances, but again, they don't have the strikers to put them through. And I mean, the ball possession was 57 to 43%. I mean, of course, Newcastle having 43% of the ball possession, but yet Newcastle still had more shots on goal than Tottenham Hotspurs. You guys had about 14 of the shots on goal. So it was a very highly competitive matchup, while Tottenham had just about 13 shots on goal on the day. So, I mean, shots on goal was 4-4, but it created a lot of chances. I felt that Newcastle's chances was the best. But again, man, to what extent should Arsenal now, because that matchup will be coming up tomorrow where we have to face Newcastle in the EFL Cup. Of course, it's at the carpet. But again, the way Joe Linton has tried to solidify things down there for Newcastle. They have Gordon, they have Isaac, red hot Isaac, who's scoring goals. Guimaraes in the middle of the park. Longstaff is still down there on the bench. Burns back to defense. These guys are looking good. Tonali back there with that partnership with Guimaraes in the middle of the park. See Steve Mahala. Give us your keynote speech on how you think that matchup would pan out at the Emirates tomorrow in the EFL Cup.
Well, I expect us to play conservative. It makes sense. I don't expect to have a
conservative. Why conservative?
Yeah, because
why conservative? Your attack is doing good. You're scoring goals. You look better. I think you have the more better midfield than us. So why would it be a conservative game? Won't it be something like we're confident we can have a go against Arsenal and they don't have their talisman, Bukayo Saka? You can have a go at us right now.
And I mean, we saw on Saturday, Brighton definitely gave a go against you guys in that second half. After the goal, they looked way more likely to score. I don't know if that's what you thought, but that's what I thought. I'm like, Brighton they look likely to score here. Whereas with Arsenal, you try to give it to Martinelli, he's going to the halfway line. 2 Brighton players are either clattering him or Martinelli's taking a horrible touch and he gets dispossessed and Brighton are going the other way, trying to make something happen. So, I just think it's because it's an away game. That'd probably be my only thing. And also, you have to keep in mind, Cher and Bruno G are suspended.
Ooh.
So our midfield 3.
Wait. Is Bruno suspended for that match?
Yeah.
Huh? He's suspended.
and Fabian Cher. And Fabian Cher.
Oh my days. Bro. Bruno Guimaraes is gonna be suspended. Bro, I have to have a party, man. Bro, man, because that partnership with Tonali, man, I'm so scared about that partnership. Continue, Steve Mahala. You were saying something.
He'll be there. We'll have them for the second leg. But yeah, not the first one. And it's at your ground. Here's what I think will happen. I think in the first half we'll be more attack minded, and then second half we'll sit off a little bit more. That's what I've noticed the past 2 games. with when we went to Spurs and Man United away. In the first half, we were very attacking. We got our goals and then shut up shop in the second half. We're a bit more conservative and played on the counter. So I think probably something like that'll happen. So we'll end the game more defensive and all that. But, I mean, you're going to have your – I would assume – and look, I don't rate Arteta, but surely common sense in his little brain will prevail, and he'll play a strong lineup, right? That's why Odegaard was probably rested against Brighton. That's probably why what's his face? You had another player that you rested that I was surprised about. But yeah, so it's going to be a competitive game. I think it'll be a low-scoring one. I don't see too many goals in this game. Maybe at St. James it'll be different if we're desperate for a goal, but our record at the Emirates ain't great. This is my fear of it, and also that we're missing Bruno G and Cher.
But again, you missing Bruno Guimaraes. Yeah, I mean that has to come to light, man. Because I mean, he has always been the one mopping up that midfield, patrolling that midfield, breaking up play, interceptions. Bruno G has been tremendous this season. So, I mean, to what extent we're missing him? I mean, Fabian Shaw. I mean, of course, that Newcastle back line I've always navigated through lots of defensive woes this season. I mean, most of your defenders have been going in and out, that's a given. But I mean, for you to lose Bruno Guimaraes, who has been one of your most consistent players in terms of what he gives to the team, what he brings to the team, the interceptions, mostly the interceptions, and how he helps your play moves forward, because he's always that guy that breaks up, intercepts most of those balls, helps your counter attack. To move further and quite quickly, because he's a big, strong guy in the middle of the pitch that's doing all these things. But I mean, to what extent would that affect your matchup against Arsenal? Because you do need that big, imposing figure in the middle of the park. And who would you replace him with? I know Tonali could play as a defensive midfielder alone. He can do it. It's in his wheelhouse. But I mean, don't you think that Arsenal might just, find a way around it? Because Tonali, yes, is big, yes, is strong, yes, is a big unit in that midfield, but it could be get at in a way. Yeah, I mean, the solidity of that partnership between him and Bruno Guimaraes is of geometric progression. I really like it. So tight. So I don't know how it will look like with him playing with another person in the middle of the park. And who do you think is going to come in there and replace Bruno Guimaraes, instantaneously, and will give you a decent shift if you do so?
It'll be a midfield three, I think, of Joe Ellington, Tonali, and Willock.
Is Willock back from injury? I mean,
Willock's back. He got subbed on late in the game against Spurs.
Okay.
Yeah. It'll be Willock. It'll be Willock. And who knows? Arsenal have a track record of when they play former Arsenal players, they like a goal. So, hey, you never know, man. You never know. But,
you never know. Yeah. Steve Mahala, The Assembled says something here. He says, and he, of course, because The Assembled, of course, he understands, he knows football, he knows his history of this league also. So he says, Alan Shearer, 1996, and Joe Willock, 2021. Joe Willock, really, have both scored in
Joe
7
Willock.
consecutive league games for Newcastle alongside Isaac. So is that possible with Joe Willock?
Yes, Tony. Remember when you loaned Joe Willock to Newcastle in the January of 21-22 season?
Okay, yeah, that's true.
He went on loan.
Yeah, that's true.
He went on loan, and then at the end of the season, he scored in 7 straight games. I'll pull it up right now. He was on
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's incredible.
2.5 years ago, but he was. So he scored.
That's fire, man.
He scored against West Ham, Liverpool, Leicester City, Man City, Sheffield United, and Fulham at the end of the 2020-21 season. And then he left on a permanent transfer at the start of the 21-22 season.
Yeah, man, that's big, huge, man. But again, see, Steve Mahala. I mean, we pundits are just acting, yeah, as if the January transfer window isn't open right now. I mean, now is the time when you do need defensive reinforcement. This is the time to go and tap into defensive reinforcement. If you know your Arsenal Football Club that is looking for goal poachers right now, PSG wants to do away with Colomwani. Why aren't we ahead of the game? Uh, See, Steve Mahala, because right now we're talking about Newcastle. I mean, Newcastle have had their own fair share of, injuries this season alone. I mean, don't you think that it will be wise for Eddie Howe to tap into that January transfer window and try and show up things at the back? I
Yeah.
mean, you have a good defense when all of them are okay. I believe they will give a decent shift to any world class team around the world. But I mean, injuries have put Burns into question. I've put Longstaff into question. I've put Shaw into question. Livramento has also had a share of injuries too this season. I mean, let's throw that all away. Throw that all away. What do you think Eddie Howe should be thinking right now as a manager who needs to take Newcastle to the top where they should belong? Because Newcastle have a world class team right now. The way they're looking, the fifth right now, they have a world class striker. They have two world class midfielders in the middle of the park. Steve Mahala, he should be fancying his chances of going to the January transfer window and making those
Yeah.
big, massive reinforcement to try and monster something this season for Newcastle. Take it away.
Yeah, we need to buy a right winger in the January window because Almiron and
Mm,
Murphy are not up to scratch. Definitely not. You need to get a high
mm.
quality player there. We're linked with Long's defender from Uzbekistan, Abdulkadir Kushanov, who could play in a back three on the right side. Um, Botman is back from his injury. By the way, he played a really good
Yeah,
game.
Botman is back. Mm,
He played a really, really good game against Spurs, albeit he
yeah,
started off slow, but you expect that from a player coming back from a major injury after 200 plus days out injured. But he was excellent in the game past like the
yeah.
10th minute. He
He
was very,
was. He played quite well.
very good. So I don't know if he'll play again this midweek because he is just coming back from the injury. But yeah, I'd like us to get a center back in January for sure, and also a winger, and possibly a left back. But we'll see about that. But yeah, I think in the January window to make moves that would improve our chances of getting in those Champions League spots, and also looking to see what we can do in the Carabao and FA Cup.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we got some stuff to do in January. But
But,
the
but but for you, which one is of high priority now for
right wing,
Newcastle? I mean, we'll go into Nottingham Forest later on. We'll go into Arsenal next. But I mean, just before we go down there, Steve, I mean, what is your priority area to strengthen in the transfer window right now? Big up to Haha False Flag. Big up to you. I know you're a new subscriber. Big up to you. He says City is coming. I mean, we'll talk about City because that's a big growing threat. They've now won two games at a trot. People have written them off, but man, this league have actually shown us that we should not throw anything under the carpet. Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
yeah.
Steve Mahala, before we go into those complicated issues, I mean, what is your priority area right now in terms of reinforcement? What is your priority right now? Would you say, Eddie Howe, go get this right now? Go
Right
get
wing.
this right now. It definitely doesn't have to be the striking position anyway.
Yeah, but it would be nice to have a backup because Callum Wilson obviously is injury
He's
riddled.
always injured. Yeah.
Yeah, and clearly Eddie Howe doesn't rate Osula, the backup striker we
Yeah.
have on the bench. He doesn't really play that much. So, yeah, I'd like a backup striker because Isak is the only striker we have at the club right now that's fit. So, if you can get a striker for a backup that's cool with being a backup that can rotate with Isak, that'd be cool. But number one priority, bro, is right wing. We need a
Right
right
wing.
wing. Yeah, definitely. And honestly, the same could be said about
But
Arsenal.
what about defensive reinforcement? I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
after these injuries to these defenders, like, don't you think a defender should be a priority area position for you to look into in
yeah.
mid, like right now?
After Tony, the way I look at it is when I have my full when Newcastle has our full strength 11, I look at it, how can I make my 11 even better? When Newcastle have our best team out there, it's Nick Pope, Livramento, Lewis Hall,
Mm,
Cher, Botman, Tonali Bruno, and Joe Ellington, Gordon left wing, Isak striker, and Murphy right wing. Now, out of all those players, which is the one that needs upgrading the most? For me, it's the right wing,
mm,
right? That's how you
mm,
would see it,
mm.
right?
Yeah, I hear
Out of
you.
that starting 11, which player could you upgrade on? Which one do you need to upgrade the most? It's right wing. Get
It's
me a
right
Tyler
wing.
Dibling, like Latimer's Prime said. Tyler Dibling would definitely
Mm,
take Dibling. Would take
yeah.
Johan Bakayoko at PSV, Kubo from
Mm.
Real Sociedad, Jagrova from Lille, Brian
Kubo from Real Sociedad. I mean the
Brian
Japanese
Mbomo,
mercy. That guy,
Brian
that guy. I like that guy. I wonder why Premier League teams haven't picked up that guy yet.
Brian Mbomo from Brentford. That guy has 13 goals for
Why
him.
are people throwing away the fact that Kolomwani has been made dispensable by PSG? I mean, Kolomwani. I mean, it looks like a typical kind of signing that Newcastle will have as a backup to Isaac, man. I mean, what do you think about that? He could also play behind the striker. He has no problem with that. You can tuck him out to the wings. He can still give you the same output together. I mean, his form hasn't really been that great for
That's
PSG.
awful.
I mean, he has been relegated to the bench most of the time, but I mean, he's been made dispensable. On a good day, he's a dangerous player, and I think it's that kind of player that Newcastle would like. What he might bring to that team, and it might be a different experience for him, of which he needs a new experience right now. Kolomwani, I don't know why people are overlooking him right now. He's a world class player to me.
He's not a world class player. He's a good player that doesn't suit the way Enrique wants to play. I think that's very
Okay.
clear. But yeah, at Frankfurt and before that, when he was at FC Nantes, yeah, I would really, he is a good player. I would if Newcastle could get him on loan as a backup striker, he could also maybe play wing, where he played a lot at Frankfurt on the counterattack.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's best in transition, and with Paris Saint-Germain, they're not a transition team; they're a possession-based team, and it just doesn't
Oh,
really work quite. It just hasn't worked out for him there. So I would
okay.
say
Steve.
I would go for an Mbumo because again, the right wing.
Premiership experience. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
Mm,
even if
mm.
he wasn't Premier League experience, good football is a good foot, right? You were talking about Lenny
Yeah, yeah,
Yoro initially. You were having doubts because he came from Ligue 1, but
yeah.
only a few games you can recognize he's talented, and it
You
doesn't
can
matter.
recognize that. Yeah, exactly. Of course,
Oh,
there'll be a few talents that come from the French league. I didn't say that entirely, that nothing good will come out from the French league. I just expressed my feelings that, I don't really rate the French league. So, of course, it doesn't really mean that there wouldn't be, there's dark horses that will come out from that league and actually just give you a decent shift to the Premiership. We will have one or two. I've seen Euro. He plays quite well. I like his defensive abilities. It looks okay. But again, you have to keep, your fitness levels to a high threshold. I mean, to play in the Premiership, because what Premiership fans will look at is, hey, how many games have he played? How many tackles have he made? If you don't play games, you can't make tackles. If you don't play more games, you can't be part of a winning team. I mean, right now, Manchester United is in a dire position. They can't defend. I mean, throw away what happened yesterday. Class performance from Manchester United. But when
yeah,
you check the trail of the games they've played, and let's go by their last 10 games, you see different defensive frailties plaguing that team. I mean, Manchester
yeah,
United can't seem to keep it together defending. They concede lots of goals from set pieces. that kind of team, yeah, needs a Euro right now. And when I saw that tackle it made against Nunes, I was like, boom. Yeah, that's what Manchester needs to keep it tight just a little bit. And that's what you get when you have players that keep their fitness levels to, to a high standard. And maybe probably they come back and they give you, performances like that. I like what Euro did yesterday. But again, we have to leave these areas right now. And of course, we have Latimer's Prime. I mean, Latimer's Prime might join us in the next one, definitely. He says, isn't there plans for Newcastle to sell
Wow.
Wilson so they can bring a backup backup
He has
line in?
he has 6 months left on his contract. He'd be worth about £1 million. Actually, not even. With the guy's injury history, we'd be lucky to make £100,000 off of him. His injury history and his age and
his age is getting older.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to. We'd be able to sell him for a bag of Doritos, and that's about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right now he's injured anyway. So even if somebody
he's injured anyway, so his fitness levels, has doubled quite a lot.
You can't even ship him. So it is what it is. But yeah,
exactly, it is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. Big ups to Hendon Gunner, big ups to Longhead Yeti, and of course, Latimus Pramos in the chat. And big ups to this guy. He's a Newcastle channel. Big ups to this guy. His name is Geordie Dread TV. Go subscribe to his channel if you've not. He's a great guy. I've done some shows with this guy. Great guy, nice guy to have around. And of course, in the coming weeks, I'll be having something to do with him later. And says, big up, Tony, smash the like. Yes, Steve. Yeah, and he throws that remark for you, HWTL. That you guys slang down there in Northumberland. Shout out to Longhead Yeti. If you've not subscribed to Longhead Yeti, what are you waiting for? See, Steve, we drift a little bit because someone had just popped into the chat, and that person is Longhead Yeti. Guess the football club he supports, Nottingham Forest. See, let's talk about Nottingham Forest. Just a little bit. Yeah, they have a matchup against Wolves today.
Yeah.
That matchup promises to be a very, very big matchup, by the way, because if Nottingham Forest get a glimpse of that matchup and put in a lot of effort in that matchup and win that matchup there at the Molineux, they have a chance of gazopping Arsenal on the league table. With goal difference. Guess what? These guys have just only conceded about 19 goals this season. It's good and okay for people to relegate them and say, oh no, well, they'll find the space towards the end of the season. They will go down, they would lose games. Bro, they're not losing games. They've gone unbeaten in 5-6 games, bro. These guys are looking hard to beat. Moreno is a beast in that back. In that back three of Nottingham Forest. These guys are looking good. Gibbs is looking good. Bro, let's not even talk about Chris Woods and his form, Throw that all away. These guys have put in 26 goals this season, 19 conceded, 37 points in the league. Steve Mahala, take it away. What do you think is going to happen in that matchup against Wolves? Mind you, Cunha is suspended for that matchup. The FA has suspended him. He's going to be on a 2-game ban. And, of course, there's talks outside of the ground that Cunha might, is looking for a more bigger proposition to come to Arsenal. But throw that all away. Cunha won't be playing today. So, therefore, the attacking bite might come with, a little bit of a blunt, not sharp enough, if you would say, because Cunha has given them scored a lot of goals this season already, But again, do you think Nottingham Forest are on their way to something special this season? We had Leicester City win the title. Let's don't act as if a surprising team hasn't won the title before. Something could happen. Who knows? Talk to us about this, Steve Mahala.
Yeah, I think it'll be a really tense, kind of low-scoring game tonight. Neither team is super attack-minded, but can counterattack really well, which can actually make for some really decent games. I think about Atletico Madrid versus Inter last year. Both teams were just going back and forth in the second leg at the Metropolitano, and nobody, not many people are thinking that game was going to be like, a really, really good tie, but it ended up being a really entertaining game. So maybe maybe it'll be a bit more kind of maybe it'll be a bit more entertaining than I think, but I do think it'll be close. I do think it'll be a close game tonight. Wolves have improved since Gary O'Neill got sacked and they brought in Vitor Pereira, but you're right. When you're missing Mateus Cunha, who's a very, very good player, I think they will suffer. Although I do like their Norwegian striker, Jørgen Strand Larsen.
Larsen, yeah, that's another. That's a cool striker, man.
Yeah, and they'll have He Chan Huang as well. Probably Wolves. They'll play him. He's a decent player. And they'll have Geddes, who when they played Tottenham last week, Geddes was really, really good. Ait Nori's good as well, so it'll be a decent game tonight. And I believe long-haired Yeti, correct me if I'm wrong, it is a Midlands derby. Because Wolves are Midlands and Forest are, I believe. So it should be a decent. I think Forest will probably get what's it called? I think Forest will probably get like a 2-1 win tonight or something like that. Probably 2-1.
So you're giving that win to Nottingham Forest away from home at the Molineux today, and garnering 3 points will put them up in 40 points, tied with Arsenal together, at 40 points. If they score more goals, they might be ahead of Arsenal, at the end of the day. Since you've given them this win today, by your prediction right now, should we start considering that Nottingham Forest, it's a team to actually start, Steve, when some certain type of things happen, sometimes you just have to start, going for those check, putting some certain kind of things into the eye test. Nottingham Forest are garnering those wins. And if they win this game today, when would we start attaching more importance to games Nottingham Forest play? Because their performances are just going... They're just going down the radar. No one is putting them in this conversation.
Tony,
and I'm not having it. They have to be in those conversations.
Tony, we already are putting importance on the games. We're talking about them. People are talking about them. So we are already putting importance on their games. We're already doing it, right? So,
but it's not mainstream. It's just maybe some couple of channels doing that. I don't even, people even give more credence to Newcastle, and Newcastle is in fifth. These guys are in third. Look at the points they've garnered in over 6 weeks. They're looking really good, and they don't look like stopping right now. And they have a manager who could conjure stuff. We know Santo. We know he's a decent manager. We understand he understands the basics of football. Great defending, keep it compact in the middle, and try to score goals when you can. Great counter-attacking football too. We know it is in his wheelhouse. If he goes and taps into that transfer window and gets 1 or 2 guys that will come down there and help them out, we could be seeing a completely different Nottingham Forest team. But again, throw that all away. Just look at this from this standpoint. Nottingham Forest smashed up Liverpool. Let's call it a spade. Let's call a spade a spade. They beat up. They're the only team to beat up Liverpool. So why aren't we giving them the much respect that they deserve? For me, they're a big team in this league right now. They beat the biggest team that teams are actually afraid of. They have it in the wheelhouse. Yeah. Do you think they will get top 4 this season, Steve Mahala? And I want to be fair in your criticism of Nottingham Forest in this one, because we can see the numbers. We're seeing the numbers. Football is a game of numbers. We're seeing the numbers. They're doing quite well. They're scoring goals. They're defending properly. Santo is a more better manager than my manager, Mikel Arteta, with what he's doing. And we can't remove this fact that he understands the basics. He's completely transformed Chris Woods. Woods have been scoring goals, but it's completely made him more better. Every other player have improved with this manager's comment.
Tony, they've got proper midfield depth as well.
Mm-hmm.
Got a lot of good they've got good wingers.
I agree.
They've got good fullbacks with Nico Williams on the left and oh my God, right back, Olaina, your countryman. Olaina.
Yeah.
Olaina, good player, really, really good right back. Do you think he should be starting for Nigeria?
Yeah, he should be. He should be.
Yeah.
He should be. He should be. He's knocking on that door. He's
So
knocking
yeah,
on that door.
I think they could get top 4. Maybe by I want to see if they do anything in January, because maybe they go and buy maybe another left back, maybe another center back. I'm trying to think where Forest could really strengthen, but yeah, they'll Tony, I know this for a bare minimum. I think they'll get a European spot. I think they will get a European spot. But yeah, maybe they get top 4. There will be a surprise team to get top 4 though.
There'll be a surprise team, man. I swear it. There'll be a surprise team.
Because last year it was Villa, and then the year before that was Newcastle. So we've seen some surprise Premier League teams get into top 4 when, a Man United or a Spurs or Chelsea or whoever misses out on that year. And right now, Man United, Spurs, they're not going to get Europe if they keep playing the way
they're looking bad. They're looking bad.
So Forest
they're looking bad.
Forest, Bournemouth could get a European spot. I mean, they slapped Everton around silly, and they were in second or third year. Do you see that goal from Brooks?
Oh my God.
The ball from Kirkes. The ball from Kirkes, and then he got up. Brooks got off on 2 feet.
What a goal!
And it was incredible. Really, that.
Very incredible.
So Bournemouth could get a European spot. I mean, Bournemouth are only 4 points off of Forest.
Bro, in the grand scheme of things, just 4 points away.
Bournemouth could be
exactly, man. Yeah, they could be. They could be. Bro, man.
It's not inconceivable. So this year in the Premier League, Tony, is very weird.
Steve Mahala, just before we jump into Arsenal and their chances, if there's any chances of winning this league again for Arsenal.
Well, I need to hear that before me.
I know, but I still have to sample your opinion on that. I mean, if you look at the league this season, Steve Mahala, and I want you to be as holistic as possible. Yeah, be very fair as much as possible.
Yeah.
When you look at the Premiership this season, I'm seeing some certain teams last season, that were so drab that they couldn't take points off the top 4, top 6, traditional top 4, top 6. Yeah. It was, they just gave those points quite easily. But this season, they mustered in the courage to actually go head to head with the big teams on the table. I mean, Everton, for instance. They took points away from. They took points away from Arsenal. I think they've taken points away from Man United, Spurs. They've taken points from all these teams, and that's a team that, quite frankly, has been fighting relegation this past season.
Wait, you said Everton? No. Everton drew with Man City, Man United.
They drew with Man City. They drew with Man City.
And Arsenal. They lost to
Man United. And Arsenal took away points from Arsenal. Did they take points away from Tottenham Spurs? No, I don't think so.
No.
Did they?
Man United and Spurs beat Everton 4-0.
Beat them 4-0, yeah. But there was another big team that they had. Was it Aston Villa? But I don't know. But
they lost.
Everton have come close to disrupting the whole narrative. Bournemouth, the same thing. They look more better. Last season they were nowhere to be found. This season they're looking better. Fulham, of course, here and there last season. This season they're looking more better with a little bit of punch with how they were attacking, a little bit of punch with how they're defending. Do you think that this season these smaller teams have become more compact, have become more solid in a way, and they're like, hey, you know what? You could be a big team, but we could hold our own. Do you think the Premiership has stepped up a notch in terms of the smaller teams fighting and jostling for points? Look at Ipswich, the Tractor Boys. Look at what they put Chelsea through. Down the road, down there at Ipswich. Don't you think? And that's the team at the dregs of the league. Chelsea don't you think that this season these teams have stepped up the notch just a little bit?
Yeah, it's kind of always been that way in football. The little teams will sometimes they go on like a nice little run and they take points unexpectedly off the bigger teams. But yeah, you're right. It seems like lately it seems like the margins are so thin between everyone in certain games. The only teams that look miles off it are honestly Southampton. They look horrible. And Spurs, honestly, they look horrible against pretty much everyone they play against. Even like Wolves have gotten their act together a bit. Leicester have been pretty awful, to be honest. They did fight pretty well against Villa on Saturday, but they did lose to them. But yeah, like Palace have taken points off Man City and Chelsea. And I want to say Man United as well. They drew 1-1 Man United. And you know the other team that's really horrible this year, actually, that I forgot to mention, West Ham. West Ham. But other than
they've been dreadful. They've been dreadful. And ladies and gentlemen, if the news coming to me is confirmed, I think West Ham have severed ties with Lopetegui. I think they've sacked the manager. I mean, those reports is coming from TalkSport. Yeah. I'm not really sure about that yet, but let's see what's happening, man. I mean, drab performance. I mean, and this is the problem when it comes to changing of managers. Yeah, I mean, everyone is saying, let's change Mikel Arteta. I hear you. But again, even me too, I want Arteta out. But again, I mean, it's something we have to also look at holistically. Who do we bring? I mean, you could say, oh, there's managers for us to bring in. Quickly, we can replace him with this one. You know, I mean, just look at West Ham. I mean, from a title-winning manager, I mean, someone who won them an European title, to Lopetegui and complete idiot. I mean, look at what he's done with West Ham. He's bastardized the team. West Ham can't even defend. I mean, the little basics was there. I mean, when the former coach was down there, but look, they can't defend. Definitely can't even get anything going forward. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. So, if Arsenal is going for a new manager, let it be something that is. Let it be something that is genuine. Let it be something that is. Let us get a manager, a real manager that will come in and galvanize this football club, and not someone in the ilk of Lopetegui who will come in and tear down what the progression that we've made over the seasons. I mean, there were times when Man City, Liverpool were always beating us all together. Chelsea, we didn't find any joys beating these people at all. It's just really right now we're just trying to, that progression has come, and we're no longer the whooping boys of the top teams no more. Now we can hold our own. But these things happen, because of clear lack of judgment. So and I don't trust the Arsenal board to even bring in a manager that we trust that can help this team. So, I mean, what do you think about this Lopetegui stuff? I mean, I just heard that he's been sacked. What do you think?
I mean, he was trying to play. He went away from what he was good at. Like possession-based football and keeping it compact and tidy. They tried to play this long ball football, like this Brexit Sean Dyche football, and they were horribly organized midfield to defense. The outlet to Bowen, they were easy to defend against because their threats were very obvious. You just had to close them off. Lopetegui never knew his best 11 at West Ham, to be honest, because he was always changing the lineups. Yeah, he was shit, man.
Shocking.
And I'm surprised he lasted that long. That's some real incompetence from West Ham, because I could have told you in early November that guy needed to be fired. And now they've left it super late that they're not going to get European spots unless they do a miracle run in the FA Cup, really, because they're not going to.
Yeah, in the FA Cup.
They're going to finish like 15th or something in the Prem, even if they appoint Graham Potter. I think he'll.
I mean, if a new manager comes in, there could be a manager bounce. Yeah. I still do think that West Ham still have the characters. They still have the characters to change the way they play.
They got
They
some
got
good
good players. They have decent players there. They can still turn things around
yeah.
and ride on that manager bounce and get one or two games here and there and bounce back and get some points in. But again, they will still be within that area you've pinpointed for them in 15th, 14th. I don't see them getting even up to 10th or 11th this season. I think that ship has sailed. See, let's get into Arsenal. Arsenal, Brighton. I mean, Steve Mahala, what do you think about that matchup? Every time Liverpool kind of slip up, Arsenal slip up at the same time. They
Yeah.
slept up against Fulham, and we're going into that game with Everton, and we slip up too. Now they slept up against of course, against their biggest rivals, Manchester United, whose performances has dipped. I mean, the worst Manchester United team in 63 years. That was what Liverpool played against. They dropped points to them yesterday. Arsenal couldn't capitalize on that because we went out there at the Amex Stadium and went to get a draw. Steve Mahala, what's your thought process about this? Because right now, I think I've proven to you already that Liverpool can drop points because most of these pundits out there are all saying they're invincible, they can't drop points, they're looking good, let's hand them the title. We've already seen it that they are going to drop points. And when they meet more compact teams that keep it very, very compact at the back, stifle attacks, we definitely know that they will definitely drop points. Steve Mahala, what do you think about Arsenal and that drab draw against Brighton? And of course, Anthony Taylor and that controversial decision to hand a penalty. I mean, that's the first of the kind I've seen in the Premiership, bro. I've never seen that kind of penalty in my life. But I mean, this is the first time it always happens to Arsenal. What do you also think? What's your thought process about that penalty that was given against Arsenal? And mind you, I also covered the story that the FA might also charge Arsenal for dissent. I mean, when they gave that penalty, some of the Arsenal players rounded the referee and were, laying complaints, and the FA wants to really stamp out on those type of behaviors. So, what do you think about this thing that's put forward to you, Steve Mahala?
Well, about the game in general, I thought you played well in the first half, generally speaking. I thought you played out of their press pretty well. I thought you got to their goal pretty well. But when you got the goal, I just felt like, how I was talking about earlier when Spurs scored and Newcastle responded immediately, even though we were down a goal. It's almost like the opposite happened with Arsenal. You scored the goal, and then the opposite happened. It's like you went too conservative, and Brighton in the second half after they scored, they had all the impetus and the momentum in the game because again, Martinelli was doing fuck all off the bench. He was terrible. Trossard, overhit shot. You were getting some good balls in, but then in the final third, in and around the box, Sheik was saying this on the watch along, or one of the guys on the watch along on the Sarcasm City playback. You take too many touches when you're in and around the box. It's not quick. With Newcastle, we're not as good as a team as you. However, when we're clicking on all cylinders, and when Arsenal a few years ago were playing their best attacking football, it was quick. When you get the ball inside the box, take a touch, shoot. Take a touch, shoot.
Shoot.
You're too tippy-tappy sometimes, and you're too slow. And Brighton were, Van Hecke was having a good game defending it. He was just dealing with him and Julio. They were just dealing with what was in front of them because you gave them time to think and defend. What Brighton was doing was they were quick on the attack. They were making your defenders like Saliba make a foolish challenge because it was getting hectic in your box because they were moving the ball around quick. They had pace with Mitoma, Adingra, what's it called? The
Pedro, even Juan Pedro.
Pedro
was making moves.
He was popping up everywhere in the box, and when he dribbled, he didn't dribble backwards like Jesus. He dribbled forward. or
He
if he was
dribbles
going side
forward,
to side,
direct play kind of.
or if he would, yeah. So Brighton just went at you guys direct, quick, and smart. They didn't have the best. Some of their moments in the final third weren't the best, but they were getting in and around. They were getting into good areas. And when you guys tried to counterattack to like kind of stop their momentum and try to get something going the other way, again, it was just too slow, too predictable, too much. You don't need to touch the football 500 times before you shoot on goal. And then when you did get shots on goal, over the bar. How many games this year, Tony, have you had shots over the bar, or way over the bar? Like, how many shots on target did you have? 2, 3, maybe?
Bro, man, bro, it was shocking, bro. The numbers were outrageous.
Your composure in the final third was woeful, and this is not
It's woeful.
This is not the first time we've seen this year with Bukayo Saka or without Bukayo Saka, with Havertz or without Havertz. Like,
I mean, everyone likes to take a pop at Kai Havertz, but our attack looks horrible even without Kai Havertz right now. I didn't see anyone who was going for the press. No one was going for the press.
Odegaard didn't make a difference either in the game, really.
Odegaard is shit. He's not producing. His main job is to assist this team and get pocket spaces and open them up, tear up defenses. He's not doing that. He's completely run down the ground. Martinelli, totally shit player. Get that guy off the football club. He looks drab. He's nothing. You can't compare that guy. He's not. See, if Gordon comes into this team, Gordon gets, he gets a high table on my team. He walks straight into this team.
Oh, Martinelli
is so shit. Yes, Anthony Gordon. He walks straight into this Martin. Bro, he would leave Martinelli in the dust.
Oh my God!
It's completely shit. It's horrible.
Brian Mbeumo walks into your team.
Bro, come on, man. Mbeumo would walk in straight up in. Bro, how about Trossard? Bro, aren't you seeing Trossard? He looks a shadow of himself.
Yes.
It's painful to watch. Did you see how Trossard is struggling in this team? This is someone that had a bright future when it was at Brighton, but this manager stifled him of any, no brilliant space.
What was up?
He has totally outcoached him. He looks drab. He can't run. He can't score goals.
Your midfield 3. You have 3 DMs. 3 DMs in midfield.
Talk to this manager. It's horrible.
Awful.
It's horrible. And then you put Thomas Partey right back and you're telling him to always invert. Why? He's an old guy. Why would he want to invert efficiently? And then Thomas Partey will get injured. Bro, it's just too bad, man. Bro, enough of these Arsenal stories. What's your prediction for that matchup against Newcastle tomorrow at the EFL Cup?
We don't have a great record there, so I don't think we'll win. I'll go for a 1-1 draw.
A 1-1 draw. Good.
I think you'll score, and I think we'll score.
Okay.
You know what?
Okay.
That's a better result for us than it is you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Because anything can happen when we go down. Arsenal. We've messed up, lots of times at St. James Park, so it might just come back to haunt us. So we need to ply you guys with goals, at least pump you guys 3-1 or 4-1.
You think you're going to win 3-1?
No, I'm just saying that we have to. That's what we have to do. I'm not saying that's what I think. That's what we have to do. Yeah, that's our goal. That's what we have to do. Score 4-1. Keep the score line quite high. Mostly right now that Bruno Gomes is going to be missing. Keep it quite high. Defend properly. Be very conservative with our defense. But try and score more goals because I don't trust what we can do at St. James Park. Throw that all away. See, Steve Mahala, PSG. Prediction? I know that I'll come back to that. Steve Mahala, I know that you love European nights. You love European football. That's your thing. That's why I like your person. See, Steve Mahala down there at Doha on Sunday, yesterday in Qatar. the French side PSG winning their 13th, yeah, overall Super Cup, yeah, in that French league. Oh, they beat up Monaco with a last gaps goal from Ousmane Dembele to tie up that title. I don't know if you watched that game, but I mean, if you saw snippets of that game, I mean, very very hardly contested game played in the very scorching weather of Doha, Qatar. What do you have to say with PSG winning the first title that is there to be dished out in the French season, French Super Cup? PSG, take it away.
Yeah. Honestly, it was a pretty good Paris Saint-Germain performance. I thought Monaco were a bit too conservative for my liking, but PSG in midfield played really, really well. Controlled most of the game. Yeah, I thought they it always felt like they were going to score, to be honest. I mean, they peppered Monaco. I think they had like 30 shots or something like that, maybe 28. But yeah, they played really well. I guess I controlled most of the game. Donnarumma had some good saves to make, though.
Ooh, Donnarumma had quite some saves. Yeah, that's true.
But then again, Monaco's goalkeeper Philippe Kuhn made some really, really good saves as well. He actually got man of the match. But yeah, it was a good game. It was a good game. Yeah, Dembele playing as a striker. I mean, that definitely is a message to Colomwani that what's it called?
Your time is up. Your time is up.
Do you think PSG can beat Man City at the Parc des Princes in the Champions League?
Bro, Man City are the most. I mean, they're the most vulnerable team right now, mostly in European football. I mean, you fancy your chances to go head to head with City, and see. Let's don't forget that Man City have won 2 games at the bounce, but again, this are against teams that are, I mean, at the dregs of the Premiership. They're poor sides. I mean, look at Leicester. This Leicester team, it's a poor side. They can't defend. So if Man City, impose themselves,
West Ham had chances early in that game against Man
early
City.
in the game too. Yeah,
and
exactly.
Man City scored a few minutes after West Ham screwed up one of their chances. So
Exactly. So these teams will have a chance. They will have a chance, to take a pop. At Man City, they will get those, those open spaces. And again, man, I don't still trust the defense of Manchester City this season. It's all over the place. I mean, the way they're conceding chances, might not be goals really, but the chances, the way they're giving out these chances to all these teams, even a team as little as West Ham. Look at the opportunities they created against Manchester City. Open. I mean, Akanji this season looks horrible. Looks completely out of his depth. Even
his injuries look like they took a toll.
I mean, and even Nathan Ake, even John Stones. I mean, questionable defending from John Stones. I mean, the season. I mean, questionable one. I mean, he's gotten them ahead quite a few times, but questionable performances from him too. And even Vadiol even looks more as an attacker to me, or a midfielder these days, than even a defender most times. I mean, there's so much to unpack and pick out from that Manchester City team. I do fancy PSG to hit them home and dry at the Parc de France down there, in Paris. But again, let's see what happens. So my prediction of that game that you threw that question at me, I do think we'll beat you guys by 2-1, because I think the home atmosphere would help Arsenal. I mean, Arsenal ground isn't a ground where you come and beat me up quite often.
Yeah, you do well at home.
It's a horrible ground for you. It's a horrible ground for Newcastle. Very horrible ground. Yeah, I don't think you come down there and beat me up, smash me up. I don't think so. A draw, maybe. But my prediction, 2-1. I think that.
What would be what lineup do you want to see for Arsenal? Let me tell you the projected. I'll give you the projected lineup first.
Okay.
Tell me what you would change. All right. They think SofaScore thinks this is going to be your lineup: Raya, Timber, right back; Lewis Skelly, left back; Saliba, Kivior; Odegaard, Jorginho, Rice, Martinelli, Jesus, Trossard on the left. What would you change? Keep in mind, Tomiyasu is injured. Ben White is injured. Sterling is injured.
Nwaneri is also injured.
Saka, Neto, Nwaneri.
Yeah, so actually that team is the best team we have right now. Yeah, I would like to see Skelly for Calafiori. I do think that this is his first season. He's not this super player that people think he is.
Lewis Kelly over Calafiori.
Yeah, I'll start Lewis Kelly because I mean,
I would
of
play
course.
Calafiori. Do you not have Gabriel or something?
No, the thing there is that Timber is back, so we don't need to play Thomas Partey at right back. So Thomas Partey goes straight into that midfield. The reason why we've been using Calafiori is that we can use him down that left hand side because, of course, Tomiyasu is in there to help out. He has also had his injury concerns this season, so of course you have to also manage his injury. Just putting him there to always play all the time, I have a problem with that. Manage his injury. Now that Skelly is also having good performances down that left hand side and is also more concentrated on defending more, I think it's better we leave Skelly down there to have a few performances up his belt. So let's rest Calafiori for this game against Newcastle. If anything happens to Skelly, I mean, if any of this Newcastle players try to run a circle around him, and then maybe you can bring in Calafiori in the second half. I don't mind that. But right now, Skelly is that kind of guy that, he jostles for the ball. He keeps it simple. He keeps it straight. He defends properly. You don't start seeing him at the foot of the 18-yard box of the opposition player. He just wants to keep it simple. He wants to defend, and he works tirelessly. He's a hard worker down that left-hand side, and he gives you that defensive solidity. It's what we want. Yeah, he inverts some certain kind of times, but he does it in a very controlled manner. Calafiori doesn't do his inversion in a very controlled manner. He bumps forward at will, and I don't like that. I like it to be with the with the handbrakes when you're going on that inverted run. And that's what Skelly would give to us. Mind you, this is a Newcastle team that's looking good with the attack of Gordon. Even Joe Linton, I consider, even if it's a midfielder, I consider him an attacker. He's scoring goals. He's dangerous. He's dangerous. He's a goal threat. He's dangerous.
Joelinton can score headers. He can score goals from outside.
He can score anything. Yeah. Anything. He's a dangerous player. So I don't want any player who is very, very, lackadaisical about defending. And that's where we have Calafiori. And I'm not blaming him. I'm only saying that this is his first season. He needs to acclimatize into this league. I get that. So that's why I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. But right now that we have Lewis Skelly, that's a more compact guy down that left-hand side, let's have him down there. Then if he performs badly, or if there's some stinkers he dishes out in that game in the first half, of course you always have the luxury of bringing in Calafiori in the second half. That's why you have squad depth in it. But again, where I have a bigger problem is who would play down that right hand side, because no one in this team is ready to step up. The person that stepped up has been cursed by another injury. I mean, it looks like that right wing area for the Arsenal is a cursed area. I mean, Bukayo Saka getting injured. He also doubles as our assist king. He's injured. I mean, Bayern Munich has just beaten Salzburg 3-0. A big win for Bayern Munich. Stay ahead in that title running. But of course,
Oh, that's a friendly. Just talking about that's a friendly.
Is it a friendly? I thought that was a German Bundesliga.
No, Tony, that's Salzburg, Austria.
Oh, Salzburg. Oh, yeah. Yeah,
we beat Leipzig.
Yeah, exactly.
We did beat Leipzig 5-1.
5-1, right?
Yeah, about a month ago-ish. Yeah, that's a friendly.
Yeah. So I'm pretty much scared about what's going to happen down that right hand side, because it's been confirmed now that Ethan Nwaneri is going to be out for a few weeks. So that right hand side is the only one. I mean, Steve is the only one that has stepped up to actually try to challenge Bukayo Saka for that right wing berth. I mean,
Yeah.
since when Saka has actually gone out injured, he's been the one to come in there and put in the same performance. We've seen Martinelli down there; he's this start thinking. So, I mean, it might just continue. That's why we need to go into the transfer window and go get a reinforcement. But Steve Mahala, the last one before you go, Igor Jesus, that plays for Botafogo of Brazil. I mean, he's played in Cruzeiro. He's also I mean, his parent club is Botafogo. I mean, he's won the Libertadores, the Cup Libertadores competition down there for Botafogo when he's played. Arsenal went down there last week, tried to tie up a loan deal for Igor Jesus
Yeah.
for about 16.28 million pounds. That bid has been rejected. They want a more permanent deal. Arsenal is still negotiating for that guy out of the blue. What do you think about this guy? I mean, Igor Jesus. I mean, I've seen him play once or twice. I've seen YouTube materials on him. He looks decent. He looks a good striker. But I mean, we've seen lots of Brazilians come down to England and struggle in it.
Yeah, honestly, he didn't play too much, I don't think, for Botafogo. I didn't watch too much South American football, so I got no idea about him personally. And YouTube compilations can make, bro, you can make a YouTube compilation of Nketiah that'll make him look like a fucking sick player.
So,
You know what I'm
exactly,
saying?
man.
So like, yeah, I wouldn't judge those as a barometer, but yeah, yeah, you should be. Again, I don't know why you guys don't go for like a Jonathan David from Lille. He's got 6 months left on his contract, and he scored 100 goals for Lille in the past 5 years.
The problem
So
is, I don't think this manager will have any more money to spend. That is the problem,
yeah,
Steve. I don't think this manager. I mean, the
so
Crumpets have
only
put up
loans.
about
Is it
800
really
million
only
pounds.
loans?
I don't think they
Going
want to
for
give this
loans?
manager any more money.
Yeah,
I don't think they want to give him any more money because if not, we will start seeing big buys. But instead, they are going down the backyard, going down to Brazil to look for cheap players.
yeah, yeah. Look, I think Arsenal can be doing maybe a bit better than Igor Jesus. I mean, for a loan, that just seems like another Edu like inside sort of thing.
Inside
You know,
job. Oh my
yeah,
days.
that
Still
I don't
pulling the
know.
strings
Even
when he's already left the football club. Oh,
yeah,
days.
so who knows? But yeah, I think I don't know. Arsenal are in big trouble, man.
I'm in big
Look,
trouble.
as much as we talk about Liverpool will drop points, guess what? We can say the same thing about your team.
Mm,
Like,
yeah.
you can't play 3 DMs versus Brighton. You can't seriously put Martinelli out there. You know, what did Jesus do against Brighton? Not that much. Couldn't settle the
Mm.
football. Like, I don't know. I just, yeah. You guys, what's your priority position in January for Arsenal?
Bro,
What's the
bro, come on, man. See, now the priority
striker?
position right now is the right wing. I mean, there's nothing clear
Right
as
wing,
that.
left wing. Wait,
Bro,
which wing?
I mean, bro, all wings actually, but the priority right now is that right hand wing because that right wing is it's where most of our assists come from, where most of our gameplay naturally, it's the default setting of our gameplay. That's where the magic happens for Arsenal. I just don't know why we actually neglect the left hand side and just go through with our right hand side. But of course, when you have Odegaard who operates more through the right, of course, definitely you have to fancy your chances going to the right. So what do? Get someone in that right wing right now. The people in the market that we could actually go get in that right wing right now. How about talking to Kudus down there and going to bring in Kudus? How about talking to Umbuemo to go bring Umbuemo and give us a decent shift down there in that right wing? Yeah. How about a striker to come in as a backup to Kai Havertz? Right now, I mean, everyone has been on my neck over this Kai Havertz issue. Could you see right now that Arsenal can't churn anything out without a Kai Havertz? Throw away the goals. He's not really a goal poacher. How about, see, I didn't even see anyone, yeah, in this past 2 games. I have not seen Kai Havertz. I didn't see anyone actually even running for the ball, pressing. The pressing game totally dead. No one is pressing. Martinelli can press. Jesus can press it. I mean, bro, he doesn't do these things, yeah. But Kai Havertz, we missed out of him. He's always pressing. He's always running. Leslie, he's always getting into all these, half-baked tackles. But again, that's Kai Havertz. That's how he operates, yeah. But again, he still makes those runs. He still makes those tackles. We could still make use of his head. There were times where we struggled to even find chances at all to even hit Brighton in any way. There are times where you could just switch the gameplay and just look balls from the defense and look the ball over the Brighton midfield and have at least a chance for someone to head the ball in. That's where you have Kai Havertz.
Right.
But in this case, you can't look the ball to anyone. You can't do any other. I think it's just drab. It's useless. We need a striker in this football club.
Tony, how many games? You need a whole new front three, to be honest. Besides Saka, obviously, when he comes back. Tony, you need a whole new front three. It's ironic.
Bro, it's ironic. Yeah, exactly, man. A new front three.
It's ironic because Newcastle have the left wing and the striker nailed down. We need a right winger. Arsenal are in the opposite predicament. You have the right winger in Saka, but you need a striker and a left winger.
Bro, like you said, we need. See, our front three needs to be refurbished. We need a new front three. Yeah. We need a more intensive striker. I like Kai Havertz with what he has been dealt with in this team. I mean, he has given us even so much than I even bargained for. Because I don't think is like a main striker. I think he can play in behind a main striker, and then you see the best out of Kai Havertz because the pressure is taken away. And mind you, most defenses don't even respect him as a striker. In that way, they don't even look at him. They don't even see him as a goal threat. So when he's playing off a striker who has the whole focal attention of these defenders, then you leave completely Kai Havertz open to cause damage. He could play behind the striker, but this manager is so dumb. He doesn't want. I mean, he's so stuck on his tactics, yeah, that he doesn't want to switch things. He doesn't want to bring in reinforcements that will come in and change things. He's a shocking manager. And right now, Martinelli can't give us anything good. Down the right, it's also problematic. So we have a big issue, man. If not our defenders who have bailed us out time without number with our set piece prowess, would have been in dip shit down here, man. But again, big ups to Radimus Prime. He says that sounds like another Pablo Mari, Marquinhos type of signing. No, I mean, when a Chelsea fan says this, I mean, that says it all. It doesn't have to come from an Arsenal fan, right? If a Chelsea fan is out here saying this, my brother, man, shit has hit the fan. I mean, see, Steve, what you got coming up, man? It would have been nice to have Ladimus Prime on the show, but maybe the next installment will pop in. So, Steve Maha, tell us what you got coming up.
Yeah, bro. Big up. Good doing the show. Love that we're getting consistent with it. That's good stuff. So what do I got coming up? Probably nothing until Thursday. I got to check what game I'm doing a watch along for on Thursday. Maybe one of the FA Cup, or I think Real Madrid are playing in the Super Copa. Friday, I'll probably do a Lazio Como watch along, and then Saturday do a watch along here and there. So, get some watch alongs on the channel coming up from around the world, particularly Europe. So, but big up, broski. Good doing the show with you.
Yeah, man, and of course, guys, you do know Leroy's in the charts. Big up to you, Leroy. Leroy, you just missed Steve Mahala, and Steve when he's analyzing football, he brings the heat, but you missed that. Leroy, big ups to you, member of the channel. Longhead Yeti, member of the channel. See you guys. If you've not subscribed to our brother, of course, Steve, go subscribe. Those of you watching it on playback, go subscribe to the channel. Steve, but Steve, man, it would be nice to have a watch along with you, bro. I mean, this watch alongs, you don't call me. See, guys, I want to watch along with two people this season so bad. Longhead Yeti and Steve Mahala. These two, I want to do a watch along with them. With Yeti, I mean, sometimes it just sends me the link, and it's maybe when I've thrown my throw my knickers away, and I'm just on my boxes trying to catch a decent sleep. That's when Yeti throws me the link. So Yeti, we have to give me the link when I do need it and on time. And of course, Steve, it would be nice to join you one of these days. On a watch along on your channel, man. It would be very, very nice. So apart from that, Oregon Gooner will be coming down to the channel this week, and that'll be a big one for me because Oregon Gooner has a lot to say. So Oregon Gooner, big one. Tomorrow night, I would be on Sakazin TV on our next installment of the Arsenal Man United divide, and of course, it will be a victory lap for our guy Flawless. So I'm just gonna go down there and clap, for him, and I'm going to, I'm going to make it a living hell for those Liverpool fans who will come down there to talk trash like Lex and Kaneki and all these, all these talkers, big talkers, and again, we'll see about it because these guys, they think that Liverpool is ironclad. Yeah, they think that these guys, are spirits. They think they can't be touched, and that's a fallacy. Liverpool can be touched. I still do think they're gonna lose points this season.
But
again,
Tony,
see, Mahala. That's what I was telling you. I was even saying this when Latimer's Prime was here. Let us see the reaction of this manager when things like this happen. Let's see the reaction of Anslot, because you can't just give this manager legendary status all of a sudden.
Nobody's giving
he hasn't won anything.
Nobody's giving him legendary status.
Bro, they're all saying he's doing well, he's doing this. Bro, for me, that's legendary status already.
No,
bro,
it's not.
Without even winning a title, you're saying all these good things about the manager. We don't even know how he's going to cope when Mohamed Salah goes injured. We don't even know how he reacts if he misses Schatzbalai and Gravenbach in the same week. We don't know how he's going to operate with that. I mean, all these things here, we need to investigate that properly before we attach this. Oh, he's a good manager. Bro, last time I checked, this is the Premiership. It's a humbler. You know this. I know this. We've seen the Premiership. It's not a place where you just... Bro, why didn't you win against the Manchester United side? The worst Manchester United side in 63 bro, 63 years. This is the worst Manchester United side, and he couldn't beat that side. What does that tell you of that manager? What does that tell you of a manager who's single signing? Because I go by what you do. If we go by what he has done in the transfer window, he brought in a Chiesa. That hasn't been a good signing for Liverpool football. Has it been a good signing for Liverpool Football Club? The answer is no. How many games has he played? Bro, why are we attaching so much importance to this manager? That's what I'm saying. Let's go by the eye test. Let's forget all this stuff. Go by the eye test. What has he done that has made everyone clap and dance and attach the title to him in December and January? What is this?
Tony, how about let's look at it like this. They're the leaders of the pack, right? So naturally, if you're criticizing the leader of the pack, who is behind them? You have to then scrutinize them and look at them and be like, can they take down the leader of the pack? Do you think Arteta is going to take down this leader of the pack? No, he won't.
Well, that's the big question. If we go to the transfer window and get business done, this Liverpool team can be touched. I believe it.
Yeah, but
again, why are we acting as if Liverpool haven't bottled league titles, haven't bottled league run-ins? We've seen them bottle it against Man City.
Their manager has. your manager has. That's the problem here.
No, he has, of course, but we're not talking of Arsenal now. We're talking of
We are
Liverpool.
talking.
Why do you guys have to always fetter the argument with Arsenal? It's a different
you are
ball
the
game.
only
We're talking of
team-
Liverpool.
You're the only team at this moment in time right now, with Man City in 6th place right now. You are the only team that is somewhat close to them besides Forest. I think Forest are doing really well this year, but I don't think they're going to win the title off of Liverpool.
Well, I mean, okay, no problem. Let's see. Because the way they're talking, actually, Longedieti and Ladimus, what I meant by that legendary status is they're talking like that about him, like that. So it's mostly a personification. It's not really word for word what it means. Literally, it's just a personification. So just try to put that in perspective. That's the way they're looking at this manager. The way they're talking about him, bro, and people completely throw the fact that he walked into 5 world-class players in that team. Yeah. He has to get a tune from those players. But again, let's leave it. Let's see what's going to happen. See you guys in the coming weeks. Yeah.
Who do you think's going to win the league then? Right here, right
bro,
now.
In the coming weeks, you are going to see this Liverpool side drop points. In the coming weeks, you're going to see this Liverpool side drop points. That's what I'm going to say. And see, you know what? Yeah, I'm not the only one in the title running. We also have Nottingham Forest, who's also running in right now. I mean, they'll be in 40 points after this night if they win. So let's don't act as if it's only Arsenal in that running. So, bro, let's see what's going to happen, bro. I'm not having it if you're telling me that Liverpool is going to go Espírito Santo, yeah, and just go and cruise and win all these games. I don't think so. It's not going to happen. No. They're not spirits. They're human beings. As far as I'm concerned, they're flesh and blood. What Manchester United showed yesterday is that these guys could be caught. They could be caught. They could be touched.
We already talked about. All right, Tony. Let's do it like this. Do you think Newcastle?
Yeah. Then why offering up arguments for them as if they can't be touched? Because that's the argument you're given, that they can't be touched.
Because they have a clear advantage points-wise on the board right now. And they have the informed attacker of the league, Mo Salah.
It's 6 points. It's 6 points. It's 6 points, bro.
It is.
It's 6 points, bro. I've seen Man City win this league when Arsenal was stopping them with 8 points. What are we talking about?
I've seen Arsenal multiple times this year drop points. More points than Liverpool. Tony, here's a question for you. Do you think Newcastle United is going to win the Premier League this year? Yes or no?
No, I don't think so. But I still.
All right.
Bro, stop attaching all these other teams. I'm just saying Liverpool will drop points. And if Liverpool drop points and every other team are getting points, bro, it leaves that title wide open. So let's don't act as if Liverpool won't drop points. Forget who wins the title. Liverpool will drop points. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but
then don't change the conversation. We're not talking about who wins the title. We're talking about Liverpool being touched.
Tony, I think Liverpool is going to win the league. What do you think? Do you think someone else is going to win the league?
Bro, all I'm saying is that they can get touched. And if they can get touched, they are going to lose points. And if they can lose points, some other teams can get points and win. Right now, I need to get more clarity on who would actually win the league. I don't have the clarity on that.
Well, okay, if you had to give a guess,
and that's not out of space shit to say, because this is the Premiership. You can't just say this will win the title. No, you can't just do that. You have to have clarity. You know, I mean, there'll be an excuse if I say I need clarity on that. This is the Premiership. I have the right to have clarity on certain stuff.
Tony,
I do think Liverpool will drop points. I do think other teams will come up and near Liverpool in the coming weeks. How about that? Like in 6 games.
Wait, Tony. So you don't think Newcastle are going to win the league? What about Nottingham Forest?
Bro, are they not in the mathematically? Are they not in the title?
They are mathematically in a title race.
Yeah, exactly. Then why are you writing? Why are you writing off teams that have a mathematical inclination to win the league? I mean, Leicester had a freak season. Blackburn Rovers had a freak season. What are we doing? Why can't this be a freak season for Nottingham Forest? Yeah. So why are we so stuck on this Liverpool thing?
Tony, in your opinion, gun to your head metaphorically, who is the most likely to win the league today?
That's what I'm saying. I need more perspective.
Who? Just give me a team.
I need more perspective.
Who is the most
bro?
likely?
I need more perspective. I need more perspective. I don't know that yet.
It's halfway through the year. We've seen a lot of every single team.
Mm.
Do you think Arsenal are going to win the league?
Bro, I don't know. I need clarity on things yet. I need clarity. I don't know.
Why can't you just make a guess?
I don't know, because I still think that this Liverpool side would drop points. Does that make sense with you?
Okay. Do you think Nottingham Forest will drop points?
Bro, let's see. We don't know all these things. Let's see what happens. Bro, let's see what happens.
Tony,
let's see what happens.
Tony, I just want an answer on a guess. If you just had to say right now who is going to win the league, who looks the most likely? If you had to say a team, do you think Chelsea? Do you think Chelsea are going to win the league?
Bro, see.
No.
I don't have perspectives on that right now. When I have perspectives on that, I will let you know. All I can say right now is that Liverpool will drop points. They are not home and dry. Many other pundits have given them the title, and I'm saying no, it's not possible.
When will you have clarity? Because we're halfway through the year. Like when? Like after 25? 25 games?
No. Maybe after January. Maybe after January. Maybe when we're in the middle of February. Then I'll have a more clear perspective, a more vivid perspective to where this is going. Yeah, because people will be tempted to say Liverpool will win the title. I hear that. Of course, mathematically they're leading. I get that. But I still do think that they're gonna drop points. I still do think that game, because when I was telling you guys this thing, me, you, and Ladimus, it looked like a joke. But right now we're seeing it. Although Ladimus also thought that Liverpool would drop points. I mean, to be very fair, it was you that was saying that Liverpool would do this, do that. But Ladimus also had he also said it. Let's be very fair that he thinks that Liverpool would drop points. So let's be fair. I'm a very fair guy. I give that to Ladimus. And it's true. They've dropped points against the worst Manchester United side in 63 years. What gives you the inclination that these guys aren't just going to go and going to drop points against Fulham? What makes you feel that they're not going to play Newcastle and drop points? What makes you feel they're not going to play?
Do you think Man City is going to win the league? Do you think Man City is going to win the league?
Bro, I don't know.
Because clearly
I don't know. I need more perspective.
Tony, here's what I'm collecting. You're not really feeling Liverpool. You're not really feeling Chelsea, because you didn't say they would. So I'm just going to assume that you don't think they're going to win the league. You said Newcastle, no. You're saying Forest, maybe. What about Man City then? Do you think they're going to win the league?
No, not at this time. I don't think they're going to win the league. But again, there are still some surprises that are coming forward in the next coming weeks. Bro, it's unveiling already. I mean, we're out here, we're seeing it. They drop points against Liverpool, against Manchester United. So let's wait for some couple of weeks, and then you'll get that clarity from me. But right now, you won't get anything from me. Because I still need clarity on that perspective. Liverpool will drop points.
Tony, why did you think last year at this time that Arsenal were going to win the league? Why were you ready last year to declare?
Then why did Liverpool drop out of the title race last season?
No, I asked you about Arsenal.
No, then why did Liverpool drop out of the title race last season?
I never thought Liverpool were going to win the league. I said Man City.
Come on, man. When they were going head to head, and when we were top and they go top and all this, people were saying, even you said that, Liverpool are also favourite to win the league. Come on, man. Let's don't act. See, Steve, man. Let's don't act like this, man. Why do we pundits? Why do we lie to our teeth? I mean, last season you did say that Liverpool was in the title run in. So suddenly now Liverpool weren't in the title run in last season. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. You don't dance to the tunes whenever you feel like. I mean,
We're not.
come on,
We're
man.
not doing this.
We've seen Liverpool bottle it before. It's not new.
The entire season, I said Man City were going to win the league last year. The entire season. You won't find a clip of me on Sarcasm City TV, on my channel, on your channel, nowhere that says I thought Liverpool were going to win the league last year. I said Man City the entire way. Now, going into this season, I said Man City we're going to win the league. However, in October, I went on Lewis's channel. And I said Liverpool are going to win either the Prem or the UCL, probably the Premier League, because Man City were not really looking that great. So I'm making it clear that Liverpool this year will go on to win the league, and Arsenal will finish third or fourth.
So okay. So wait, we have nothing. Okay, wait. We have nothing less than more 17 games to come in the league, right? Am I right? Maybe more 17, 18 games.
Arsenal has 18 games left.
Liverpool have about how many more games
19.
left?
They have a game in
19
hand.
games. Yeah.
They have the Everton.
And see, we're talking about this game in hand as if it's not Everton. That's a Merseyside derby. Anything can happen. I mean, I've said this time and time with that number, but no one is listening to me. We just saw a derby happen. I mean, of course, their biggest rival, play yesterday. They dropped points. So let's don't act as if that game in hand is a point in hand. It's not. It's not. It's going to be highly contested. And again, Everton might be fighting relegation by that time, actually. I mean, they'll be close to relegation wars. So let's don't put that game as if that's a 3 points in the bag. No, it's going to be a difficult game. It's a Merseyside derby. It's going to be huge. It's going to be hardly contested. So let's throw that away.
Tony, let's say Everton win that game in hand. Okay.
No, it might not be a win. It might be a draw. Anything can happen.
I'm saying it to make a point. They'll still
potentially. Okay.
Let's say that Everton beat Liverpool at Goodison. That's possible. I don't think it's going to happen, but let's say that happens. Liverpool is still 6 points ahead of you.
Steve Mahala, if Arsenal beat Brighton on Saturday, we would have been 3 points. We would have been 3 to 4 points behind Liverpool.
But you didn't.
Does this make sense? They just need one more draw and we gazump them. Does this make sense? And we have about more 17 games, including more hard games. It's easy peasy. This gap you're looking at, that's just 6 points. Bro, if Liverpool drop one more, if they drop one more game and Arsenal gets that 3 points in, bro, it's game all. Everyone will start jostling for it. Liverpool are not home and dry. I don't accept that. I don't even really accept all this pundits saying that they give it to Liverpool. Immediately you say that, I just know that you're part of this crowd mentality. I mean, I don't like pundits when they say, Liverpool. Last season it was Man City is going to win the league. That crowd mentality, I hate it. I like being my own person. How about that?
Tony, I'm not with the crowd. You know why I'm not?
No, you're with the crowd now because you're saying Liverpool is going to win.
No, I'm ahead of the curve.
Bet me, if Man City comes back and gazumps or comes even close to Liverpool, people would say, "Oh, Man City," and you might change this bearing you're talking about.
Tony, I was ahead of the curve. You know why? Because I had watched Arne Slot manage for 3-4 years. I knew he was a good manager. And I said Liverpool would finish second.
I mean, for a Farmers League, come on, bro. That has now turned to now. Bro, come on. Let's put perspective into this.
Yeah, but Tony, if I'm right, I'm right.
Come on, bro. You've watched him bro, in the Farmers League. Come on, bro. Come on.
Tony,
He didn't win the Champions League. Champions League. I mean, I don't even consider the Dutch league top 5. What are we talking about? Come on, bro.
Tony,
don't go below the belt. Come on, bro. Don't do that.
Tony, but if I'm right about a manager being quality, it doesn't matter where he's from. Actually,
I get that, but don't make him look like a god. He's not a god.
I'm not making him
He's not a god. He can be touched. Amorim touched him yesterday. He touched him yesterday. He's not a god. Yeah, Liverpool can be touched. They can be touched.
All right. So if Liverpool can be touched, Arsenal can be, really touched.
Man, come on, man. I get that. No problem. But we're talking of Liverpool, though, not Arsenal, though.
Yeah, but what, Tony? But when we talk about Tony, but when we talk about Liverpool in this context, who the fuck else are we talking about? We're talking about other teams that are near them in the table. Yes? No?
Well, mathematically, Nottingham Forest, if they win today,
Yes,
40 points. And again,
think,
you keep underrating Nottingham Forest. While they're gazumping points and raking in these wins, and bro, we might be up for a freak season yet again. But I mean, of course,
yes, I agree. I do think they could possibly. There is a small chance they win the title. I don't quite. I think
very small chance. But again, don't throw away the fact that Liverpool has been beaten by Nottingham Forest this season.
Tony,
you throwing this fact away. They beat them this season.
I think Liverpool are the far more likely of any team in the Premier League to win the league.
Of course, mathematically, you would say that. Yeah, definitely. I get that. But don't hand them. It's different when you hand them the title already in December and January. I've seen pundits that have said, "Oh, forget the title, throw it all away. They've won the title," and it's false. It's a fallacy. It's not true.
Why did
you don't hand out titles like that? Yeah, they're the favorites to win, but don't dash them the title in December and January.
Tony, last year you handed the title to Arsenal then because you said they were going to win it.
Me, I handed no. Come on, man. I said that we might win the title. Come on, bro. I did not say. I said the stars. Yeah, the stars were aligned. It's a prediction. It's not like we must win the title or we must do this. No, come on, bro. It's not with that kind of conviction. It's when they say, "Hey, do you fancy your team to win?" And I say, "Yeah, I fancy my team to win." But it's not like we must win. It's a given to win the league. No. It's not.
Yeah, but I'm not saying it's a given that Liverpool win the league. I just think they will.
Okay, yeah, then leave it at guesswork then, rather than just saying that that you've handed over the title to them. Bro, I've heard pundits say they hand over the title. Bro, people have told me that they've handed over the title to Liverpool in January and December. I've seen it. I've seen it. I was on Sarkozy TV the other day. Mons and his other minions were telling me that they've won the title already in December. I have a problem with it because I'm an old school Premiership guy. I watch Premiership games. I love the Premiership.
Tony.
Bro, you don't hand over the titles like that. And this Liverpool team can be touched. Van Dijk is not looking his best. Konate looks suspect. I mean, Arnold isn't defending properly. Bro, they can be touched. They can be.
Do you think Man City are going to win the league?
Bro, I don't think Man City will win the league. But I do think that Liverpool will drop the points that might make other teams come in.
What about Bournemouth?
No, they would not win the league. But again, I still think all the things we're talking about, I still think that Arsenal is still in that running mathematically. I still do think that Nottingham Forest can still make something.
Who do you think will win the league? I'm not saying you think the manager's a god if they win it. If you had to put $100,000 on a bet to win money on guessing the league title winner,
then I don't play. Then I won't place the bet right now. I won't place the bet. I could wait for the next 2-3 weeks to place the bet. I won't place the bet right now. I still need perspective.
If you had to.
But wait,
if you had to. If there was a genie in a bottle, it said, "Here's $100,000."
Oh my God, we're not doing genies in the bottles now. Oh my God.
Yeah, let's run with this, right? Yeah, let's run with this. Genie in the bottle says. The genie in the bottle says, "Tony, you have until January 7th to put $100,000 bet on a team to win the Premier League. What is the team you're gonna go with?" I would,
bro. I won't put it on Liverpool right now. Okay. After that draw against Manchester United, even me, anyone who had total confidence in Liverpool winning this title will be looking at that game against Manchester United and say, you know what, bro, this is the worst Manchester United team in 63 years, and Liverpool can't beat them at home. I mean, yeah, they're leading by 6 points, but man, that's not such a big
So you
gap
don't think
to
Liverpool are the most likely?
actually have big
You,
confidence in
you,
placing a £100,000 bet on right now. Anything can happen.
no,
In
wait,
your
you would
mind, you're
rather
like
put that?
anything can
Would
happen.
you rather? Would you rather put that money on Nottingham Forest to win the league?
Bro, that's what I'm saying. That anything
Would
can
you?
happen
No, no,
right
no.
now.
Would
We're
you?
still
Would
in
you? Yes or
perspective.
no? Yes or no?
Of course, I won't be putting my money on Nottingham Forest.
You would
But
put
what
your
I'm saying
money
is that
on.
Liverpool might drop enough points to enable any other team. I don't know, to
Okay, so
enable any other team to gazump them.
okay, so
That's
you
what
don't
I'm
you
saying.
don't you don't think Liverpool are that good. So you don't think they're gonna win the league. All right.
I think they're a decent side. I think they're a decent side. But again, see, it still falls back to the same thing I was telling you again. It still falls back to Anslot. I still don't trust that guy in this league. I
Do you
don't
trust
trust
Arteta?
him yet.
Do you trust
I don't
Arteta?
trust him yet because
Do you
the
trust
reason why
Arteta?
I don't trust Arteta.
Do
I
you trust
don't. Neither do
okay.
I still trust Slot right now. But the truth is, I still need to see his reaction. I want to see his reaction in certain things. I want to see his reaction to dropping points at home to presumably the worst Manchester United side in over XXXXX
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
years. Right?
Look,
Good.
look.
I want to see his reaction when Mohamed Salah in the tail end of the season don't give them lots of goals the way he does. We all know he grows cold
They're
during
getting
the end
goals
of the
from
season.
Gakpo.
I want to
They,
see his reaction in that. I want to see his reaction now that defensive woes and defensive calamity are started to creep into that team. I mean, when you look at that matchup against Manchester United, see, let's don't lie. You could see some little defensive frailties in that Liverpool team. You can see Konate outpaced. I mean, couple of times I did see
yeah, he just
Robertson
came back from an injury. I
being
get it.
bamboozled
Yeah,
by Diego Dalot. Bro, see, you know what? Yeah, lots of times yesterday in that game against Liverpool, I saw Arnold struggle in that game. He even gave up a goal. So why are we sitting down here and acting as if Liverpool are invincible when they're not? We know they can be touched.
nobody's
We know
saying
that
that.
they still. We know that the games is not just 5 games to go. We know the games is about 17 games to go. There's a trail of teams they have to face to be able to convince us that they're going to win this league, and they've not done that yet. Not with that performance yesterday, and not with the points they have now. They just have 6 points. Arsenal was leading with 8 points, and they still bottled the league last season. So let's not act as if a team that's leading the pack with about 6 points can be touched. They can be touched. Things
They
can
can.
happen. Liverpool
So
has an
who?
history of bottling the league too. So let's not act as if the light and shiny armor
All
and
right. So
everything
wait.
is
Do you
rainbows
think
with them. No,
Chelsea?
it's not. It's
Do
not.
you
It's
think?
not
Do
like
you
that.
think?
It's the
Do you think?
Premiership.
Wait. So do you think Chelsea win the league?
Bro, I don't know. I need perspective.
I don't know for a fact either, but I'm making a guess.
Then I wouldn't be making a wild guess on that because people are just waiting for me to guess, and then they latch onto it, and then they want to post me on memes and stuff. So I'll be very careful with what I say from now on. How about that? Ladies and gentlemen,
Calling
we
him a
have come
man.
to the end. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the show. This is why I like my shows with Steve Mahala. We don't agree sometimes. Sometimes he
No,
wants
no,
to,
it's not even
hit
about
me with those
agreeing.
combos, but
I just want to guess.
I'm solid enough. I'm solid enough. But you know what? Yeah. Big shout out to my guy, Steve Mahala. Shout out to Ladimus Prime. Shout out to Long Get Yeti, who has been here till the end with us. We'll hope to see what Wolves can dish out this evening. Let's see what happens. I pray they draw so that this conversation about them coming back up and trying to gas on Arsenal would be, there'll be a stop on it. But again, let's see what happens. Steve Mahala, just, shout out people and shout out the channel and let's know what to do and let's go away from here.
Yeah, like I said, big up, bro, for doing the show with me. Yeah,
Yeah, thanks, man. This
well,
was intense, but thanks, bro.
I just wanted to get a guess on who you thought was going to win the league
Maybe in the next 3 weeks, I'll get a perspective on that.
by February, start of February.
Yes, I'll get perspective on that. In the
Wonderful.
next 3, 4 weeks, I'll get perspective on that. by then you would have seen what I'm telling you. And I would tell you, Steve, I told you so. I mean, I've been
Yeah,
telling these people that
you
they would
saw
drop
that
points.
Arsenal.
I told
Yeah,
them so that this
Arsenal.
would happen. But no one, I mean, see, yeah, and that's the thing. These pundits want to use fancy words, fancy catch phrases with football and bamboozle people. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm a direct kind of guy. I don't like all this stuff. I'll tell you how it happens straight up. If you don't like it, good. If you like me, good. If you don't like me, no problem. I don't feed with YouTube money. So I have the right to say whatever I want to say. These guys will protect their pockets, but they won't want to say the truth when the truth is out there. How can you hand over the league title, this league that we've watched for so many years,
Because no one
to
else is
Liverpool
as good
right
as them.
now? Bro, they don't do that, man. I mean, let's don't. We're disrespecting the sanctity of the league. I mean, the referees do that
Yeah,
all the time,
it's
but
not that great of a
with our
league.
mouths,
Yeah, I
with our
agree.
mouths, handing over the league to Liverpool in December and January is destabilizing the sanctity and actually soiling the sanctity of this league. I'm not gonna be a part of that crowd mentality that Liverpool is gonna win the league. No, they're gonna drop points. I'll get perspective. I'll give them to you in 3 to 4 weeks. How about that? See you guys. Thank you to Steve Mahala for joining us. Smash the likes on the channel. Smash the likes and go down there to Longa Yeti's channel. Show him some love down there. That's a great guy. Ladimus too is also down here too. And Ladimus Prime, I'll take his comment. He says, Longa Yeti says here, exciting season, best one for ages. I do agree. And then Ladimus says, Tony, who's going to capitalize on Liverpool's failing off then? Arsenal, Chelsea, Nottingham
I got
Forest,
no
Man
one.
City. And Latimus, that's why I said, because if I say anything now, people will clip me up. They like clipping me up. I mean, TJ has a clip of me, doing the AOs. I mean, playing on his channel, bro. I don't want anyone to clip me up on this one because immediately I say something, they would latch onto it and they will clip me up. I don't want no clipping up. So this is what I'm going to say. I will have more perspective, more insights on this in the next 3 to 4 weeks. By then, the certain games I want Liverpool to play, they would play it, and then I would see what's going to happen. Then after then, will I come up with something and say, this is what I think will happen? And again, I also need to know Arsenal's movement in the market. If we're going to go, there's so many perspectives to this thing, Ladimus Prime. And thank you for that question. I mean, Ladimus, thanks for that, man, because we also have to also talk about what would Arsenal do in the transfer window. I mean, if we go and get a striker, Ladimus Prime, and go refurbish our right wing and get someone who will help us out in terms of creativity in the middle of the park, bro, this whole question of Liverpool winning this title, bro, it could change. It could dramatically change if Arsenal go get a Vlahovic and go trigger that clause that Nico Williams has in his Athletic Bilbao contract. Let's don't act as if, bro. I might not use the catch words that might make people, that might make people think, oh, this guy's a fancy pundit. Bro, I might not use all those stuff. But, bro, I'm very direct in what I'm saying. And this is directly what I'm saying. If Arsenal goes to the transfer window and gets those things done, bro, we are looking at a different Arsenal team. Because that's the only thing separating Arsenal from these teams. Prolific strikers. That's all. Our defense is intact. Our midfield, yeah, we have a couple of problems down there, but we still get by in it. So that's what I'm saying. If we go get these strikers, attackers that could come help the team, bro, it's a different conversation altogether. If Liverpool drop those points, Arsenal could just gazump it and win this trophy if we go to the transfer window and do what's right. But of course, this manager might not do what's right. So I can only say maybe Nottingham Forest might be in that question. Don't throw that all away, because if they win the game this evening, 40 points, which means there are 6 points just beyond Liverpool. So let's don't act tough as if Nottingham Forest mathematically isn't in that equation. How about that? So, man, I rest my case till then. In 3 to 4 weeks, I'll give you my perspective, Vladimir's Prime. Yeah, from me. Okay, Latimer said, so you don't want to give a prediction course, you don't want to get, yeah, of course, bro, this YouTube space is brutal. I mean, even you too, you've clicked me on Twitter many times, bro. Let's don't act as if you've not clicked me up many times. Yeti says, as streamers, we say what we think, screw getting clipped. Exactly. But bro, my own clipping, bro, it goes overboard. It goes overboard. All of that. All of that in January, Tony. Yeah, exactly. Getting clipped, yes, get your attention and brings more people in. Yeah, I get that, man. I get that. But for me and Steve Mahala, we are out. And thanks, Steve, for today. Big ups,
Hey,
everyone.